Auto crafting has just been introduced to both Minecraft Bedrock and Java Edition in the latest beta, preview, and snapshot. This is the first 1.21 feature, and you can do cool things like this. Hey everyone, my name is Echo, and Minecraft's latest redstone feature, known as the Crafter, is about to completely revolutionize the way we play Minecraft. I am going to show you everything you need to know about the newly introduced automatic crafting, but also the other changes for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. This is a 1.21 feature, but this is the Minecraft Bedrock Edition version 1.20.50.21. Don't worry, if you don't mess around with redstone, neither do I. I am going to show you how simple this can be. It's that simple that you can actually do this manually. Right now, we're just going to craft ourselves a sword. It is really that easy. Starting with this week's experimental features. Of course, we have the crafter. They added the crafter block to the game. Now, this block right here can be placed in 12 different directions. You can place this facing forward to the right, behind to the left. You can have this facing upwards. You can also have this facing down. You can create cool designs like this. It really is that simple. It is a crafting table doubled up as a dispenser. And this is what the front face looks like. This is what the side of it looks like. This is what the back looks like, the other side. And of course, the crafting table on top. It also looks really cool as like a floor design. Now, you are going to have to crouch when placing these down, because if you try and do it like this way, it's just going to face looking upwards, and you're going to have those beady eyes just looking at you. But it is really simple. So crouch and place. You look down, you place. You want to place it going upwards. Just build yourself a pillar. Crouch and place. Honestly, it's that simple to use. How to craft the crafter. The crafter can be crafted with redstone dust, iron ingots, crafting table, and a dropper. And this is the specific recipe you are looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 iron ingots around the top. Crafting table in the middle. On the bottom left and bottom right, it's going to be a redstone dust, and in the middle, it is going to be a dropper. So obviously, the outcome will be the crafter. So let me show you guys how to do this real quick. Really simple to make. Inside of your crafting table, 5 on the top, crafting table in the middle, dropper on the bottom, 1 on the right, 1 on the left, and the outcome is going to be the crafter. Here is a side-by-side comparison. I mean, they look very similar on the top, other than color changes, but of course the sides are looking very different. It also says the crafter uses distinct particles when crafting. Crafter has distinct sounds for crafting and failing. Now, before I show you that, let's have a little bit of a mess around with the UI. My biggest question during Minecraft Live is, how is this going to work for mobile users? Now, I've tested this on iOS, and it is incredibly flawless. This is great for mobile, for keyboard and mouse, and for controller. Now, when you hover over a specific slot, it says, press to disable slot. Now, when you tap it, it kind of reminds me of Minesweepers. So obviously you can tap and disable all of these if you really wanted to, and that crafter is completely out of action. Of course, if you are crafting something like a sword, you are going to be enabling 3 separate slots, which for me would be the middle. And you can see here, you can hover over these as many times as you want. And if you wanted to make, let's say, nuggets, for example, you can disable all of these. And of course, this one is going to be active. So let's just have a little bit of a listen to the sounds here. Now, of course, hoppers do work with the crafter. And what I am going to do here is just show you how to make yourself something as simple as bread. In order to do this, we are going to be disabling 6 out of the 9 slots. We're then going to put the wheat inside of there. Now, it doesn't just focus on one slot. It tries to evenly distribute the items across the active slots. Of course, if I take this out, hold on, we take all of these out and we disable this one, it's only going to distribute them between there. If this one becomes active, as you can see, it is once again trying to distribute them across all 3 slots. And you can see here, bread is the outcome. Now, of course, a lot of people are going to say, well, can't you just take the item out of this? No. As you guys know, if you were to have the wheat here, I could take the bread out. You cannot do it with this manually. Doesn't matter how many times I tap that. So, for example, as you guys know, put this in here. I can tap on this and do this as many times as I want. You cannot do that with the crafter. It has to be linked to redstone. It kind of makes sense because if you could take this out, it would literally void the crafting table, which again is everyone's starting point in a Minecraft world. Now let's just listen to the sounds that this makes. So a couple of things you'll notice. The mouth, it opens. You can see it opens right there. Now, we can still craft a couple more here. Also, keep an eye on the sides because you'll notice that this goes up. As you can see, it pops up. And a redstone pulse is also activated. So the top of it becomes active. And also these corners as well. So you can see, oh, let's do this one more time. As you can see, that becomes active. And one more time, that also becomes active as well. Now, in this case, you can see here, we've ran out of this slot. It does not mean that these are then going to go over there on their own. That does not happen. So that's something that players are going to have to remember when they are creating farms. But the hopper into the crafter tries to evenly distribute these just to make life a lot easier. Inside of this one, we have absolutely nothing inside of there. So if I was just to go ahead and disable it anyway, listen to the sounds that this now makes. So that's the sound of basically saying, hey, I'm not active and I'm not working. So remember that as well. Obviously, once the mouth opens, you know it's functionally working correctly. Other important information is a comparator connected to a crafter now outputs a signal that is equal to the amount of non-empty slots plus disabled slots. And moving items into a crafter from hopper or dropper distributes them evenly instead of first filling the first stack, which is basically what I was talking about. As you guys know, usually things would start to fill up that slot. Once that's full, go to the next. When that's full, go to the next. The same way the hopper works with a chest. Obviously, I recommend going to mess around with this yourself. What we are now going to do is change it from an iron block into iron, into shears, to then shear the sheep. There's going to be thousands of tutorials on YouTube in the next couple of months. So again, these currently haven't been touched. What I am going to do is put the iron block inside of there. But before we do that, we are going to disable every single slot. This is then going to make it into an ingot. If I'm correct, I open this. As you can see, it's going to be an ingot. Now it's time to decide what we want to do inside of here. Now, you can make iron doors if you wanted to. You could make trapdoors. You can do whatever you wanted to. For this tutorial, we're going to be making ourselves some shears. Then we're going to push this towards a dispenser. Again, nothing inside of here, which we are going to have a sheep right here. So in order for this to work, we're going to put these here. We're going to put a little bit of redstone there. And I'm going to put a button here. Now, let's just test if this has worked. Okay, so if we do this once, there should be shears inside of there, which there is. So now it's time to get some barriers down. So we're going to do 1, 2, another one there, another one there, here, that way, break this, and break this. Time to get myself a sheep and see if this has worked. There's just so many cool things out there. So we put you down there, and then we hit this. And the sheep has been sheared. I could then set up a hopper and then set up some more chests and then set up some more crafters. And then that could then start to make myself, I don't know, some carpets, for example. So I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to place down the sheep there. And I'm going to see if I can get this working. So we are going to activate this. It shaved the sheep and it does go inside of there. I just need his wool to grow back, get another piece of white wool inside of there, and see if it works. Better yet, we've got multiple sheeps. Let's just activate this. They should now go inside of here in the empty slots. I activate this, and then it makes the carpets. If someone as dumb as me can figure out redstone, you guys can come up with so much better. This is game-changing. As I've shown you, powering the crafter with redstone signals makes it craft and output the item. So you've seen it over there. We automatically made a complete set of armor. I'm going to show you how this works here, right? So let's make ourselves some complete diamond armor, for example. So I'm going to have this as boots. There's the boots. We're going to have this as the chest plate. That's the chest plate. We are going to have this as the leggings. And then we're going to have this as the helmets. And what we are going to do is just grab ourselves all of these. We are then going to put one inside of there, one inside of there, one inside of there, and one inside of there. And you'll see here, it's starting to distribute them evenly. We do have the redstone comparator added here. So when we activate this, it's going to spit them all out at the same time. Adventure maps are going to be so cool with this feature. And again, I love this, and I'm a non-redstone user. Let me show you guys a couple of contraptions. A quick shout out to my buddy Robcat99. He joined my world and created these. He is really talented. I'll leave a link down below so you guys can give him a follow. But like I said, even if you're not a redstone user, you can do this manually. So of course, the biggest question here is, how do you make yourself a sword? So you'd have to tap this because it does the available slots first. So of course, the first thing to do with a sword, you could do it like this and it'll go in there. You could do it like this and it'll go in there. I typically like to work with the middle because that's just how I've always crafted swords. So obviously I hit this twice. Before I hit this twice, let's check it. One goes in there. We hit another one. Again, it tries to evenly distribute it. So if I hit this one more time, you'll see that diamond goes in there. We don't want the diamond. We want to have a stick. So we'll hit the stick and it'll automatically spit it out at you. Very similar to llama spit. So if it comes to a torch, this time we're going to make ourselves a torch. I'm going to quickly spit this one out, right? Okay. So again, it's just going to automatically make these for me. This is not what I wanted to do. Let me show you guys this manually. Okay. So it would be hit this one first, which is going to be the coal. Tries to go to the top slot empty. So I think it goes like this, honestly. And if we hit this one, as you can see, it spits out the torches. Now, things start to get a little bit more complicated. And the best way for me to explain this is that the Minecraft player has to set up a delay when it comes to the crafter. Oh, obviously, all of the items are going to try and go inside of here, and you can't guarantee the order they're going to go in. So for this example right here, if we flick this, you'll see here. Hold on. We'll quickly... Yeah, as you can see here, it's doing them in order. Diamond, diamond, stick. Diamond, diamond, stick. What you don't want to happen is that it starts putting like sticks in between them. So there's a delay on each item on how they go in. So the sticks taking the longest after the diamonds, and you can see this is continuously spitting out the diamond swords for us. Now this can be done with anything. You could do it with netherite, you could do it with iron, you can do this with anything at all. You could do this with fireworks, you could do it with cake. There's so many different ones that you are able to do. Obviously, you don't want to craft the torches manually. We're Minecrafters. We're lazy. So very similar concept to this. It's all to do with the delay. So if we activate this and we watch this inside of here, you'll see here, it's doing it a lot slower. It's doing one coal at a time. Then it's doing the stick. And then it's automatically making this. Once it sees a successful recipe, it's going to spit it out. In this case, it's spitting it out inside of here. And very similar to what I showed you over there with the ability of shearing sheep, this one is to do with armor. So the gold blocks will go inside of there. It will then turn it into ingots. It will then turn it into a chest plate, and then it will go into this dispenser. And if I go in third person and I go over this, what it's going to do next time, one more time, it's going to put on the gold armor for me. And then obviously I can start picking these up as well the more I go over these. Moving on to everyone's favorites, features and bug fixes, blocks. Horizontal end rod hitboxes are now rotated correctly. We have a bug report. So here is the bug report, reported back in June 2023. And the problem is, you can see here, it's standing up. That's fine. But when it's sideways, the hitbox was also standing up. And you can clearly see this one standing up, and this one is now rotated on the side. Slight change with the decorated pot. They inverted the direction in which decorated pots wobble when unsuccessfully interacted with. So keep an eye on this. Check the direction. It goes from over there to here, right? Like tipping. If I try and do it with my hands, you can see the rotation is going from this side to that side compared to this one, just to make it a little bit more unique. Sad news. Moving on to mobs. Mobs that grow up to be an adult and are too large to fit inside boats will now jump out. So there was a way that if you had a baby horse or donkey or llama or anything at all, and it was baby inside of this, and it grew up to be big, it would stay inside of there. Yeah, they've officially patched that today. And technical updates. We do have some shader changes. Let's read the changelog. So it was a very small changelog, and the main focus was, of course, the crafter. But if you do scroll down a little bit more, there was some technical changes. We have technical updates to the API, general, and then graphical. So they've enhanced the Bloom pipeline to utilize HDR scenes information to more naturally emphasize bright pixels in deferred technical preview. Fixed an issue where shadows from non-existing mobs would be rendered in deferred technical preview. Fixed a crash that could occur when switching dimensions in the deferred technical preview, and a couple more API changes. If you made it this far in today's video, leave a comment down below and say, hey Echo, leave some armor for me. Anyway, have a wonderful day. The crafter has been introduced, and I'll see you all in the next video. Hey, you can now book me on Cameo. Link is down below.